Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the latest SilviaFindings live stream. I think we're going to continue with the pendants cataloging thing, giving you an in-depth look at the next few trays of our pendants. If you've never joined it before, if you've never watched, welcome. Hi, nice to see you. Good to be here. I don't know if anybody's on the live stream yet, or I guess we'll see. If you have any questions as we're going, please just throw them up in the chat, or direct message somebody here. Somebody will be able to get a hold of you somehow. My name is Mark. I'll be your live stream host today, showing you what we've got, the next couple things. Like I said, we're continuing with pendants, but before we do that, I just want to talk about a couple things, some house cleaning, as we say. If you share this video, of course, we'll know and or let us know if we don't get a hold of you, and we'll send you one of these beautiful polishing cloths. Oh. Feedback. I can hear myself. That's so weird. The orders thing. There's a lot of questions about that. How does that work? If you place an order during the live stream, there's free shipping to a certain degree, to a certain point. Orders, retail orders that are under $100, let's say. We'll ship those free because those we can. Although things with prongs, I always have trouble putting them in the bubble packs. But Nelson is fearless; he'll do it. Then we can just stick that in the thing and stick the postage on it to mail it out, and everything is fine, sort of thing. Big orders, wholesale orders. Assuming you've ordered wholesale, you've reached the $150 minimum, which I'll talk about in a minute. And that we have to insure that, so that we can't ship that free. So that's what that is. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please throw them up in the chat, or let us hear from you. The biggest question that I got this week that I wanted to think, and I know that it sounds like I'm harping on this a lot, but is custom. Some people have questions about custom ordering. And I'll just give you a quick rundown of how that works. If, say, you have a stone that you love the stone and you want to make a pendant for it or a ring for it or whatever it is, maybe you found something on our site or in our products that you love, you like the pendant, but the way it's designed doesn't fit your stone. Or you have your own concept, your own idea for something that you want to do, great. We can start from an existing product that we already have and extrapolate from that, change the dimensions. Or we can start from a sketch, a drawing that you've done, or pictures of elements of other pieces of jewelry that you've seen that we can draw in and put together. No matter how we do it, though, and this is the concern, we get this a lot on Etsy where people say, but can't you just make it, it's a pendant for a 10 by 13 stone. Can't you just make it for a, 14 by 20 stone? Why? And the answer is no. Obviously, if you've done any jewelry fabrication or any casting, it's not as simple as just stretching the pendant or anything. It has to be redesigned from scratch. So we're literally, even if we're using an existing product, if we're changing the dimensions or something, we've got to start from scratch. We may have some of the elements of the the little component, constituent components, the whatever, the flourishes and the spirals and or maybe little leaves or stuff or whatever it is. We may have those elements available that we can use to assemble the thing, but everything else, designing the seat, designing the dimensions of the thing, that has to be done from scratch. So it's custom, I think. Luckily, our custom service is way inexpensive. I keep trying to tell Marble we need to raise the price on the thing, and he'll listen to me eventually. So maybe order sooner than sooner than later, because eventually I'll convince them that we need to raise the price. But right now, for a simple pendant, anything under 5 grams, which is almost everything I'm going to show you today is under 5 grams. So just to get an idea, uh, 5 grams might not seem like a lot, but it's you can get pretty far with that. Is $65 Canadian. That's like, if you're in the US, 65 Canadian dollars is like what, 8.75 or something. It's not. It's like a 30% premium on that, so whatever that is. Um, for a custom item, and that includes the 3D CAD design, which we have to do, the 3D design, and then then we'll email that to you, and you can say yes, it's great, beautiful, and then we'll 3D print resin prototype of it, and then use that for the casting. Um, we're able to do that because we're the factory, and we love you, and we're uh, so we've got to do lots of custom work, and almost I don't think I've ever had anybody say, well, I think it was meant to look more like this, because the 3D image that you see is not like a yucky drawing. It's like, it's what it's going to look like. And when you're doing a custom, work, we can also cast it, although primarily we cast everything with sterling, all our production stuff is sterling, and some gold. Uh, we can cast it in anything. We can cast it in gold. We can 10 carat to 14 carat, or I guess 9 carat is the lowest carat that we go. 18 carat, whatever you want. We can do it. Rose gold, white gold. Why? Why? Why are people ordering white gold? It never ceases to amaze me. I get that it's cachet and it's thing, and you can say, oh, but it's gold, 14 karat gold. But it looks like silver. Hello? Anyway, if you like white gold, order white gold. You have to wear it, not me. It's just one of those things that I've never really understood the attraction to it. Oh God, I'm gonna get some hate mail from that. But anyway, let's move on. Shipping. Today is, I realize that you're probably watching this sometime way in the future, but the day that we're live streaming this is December the 16th of 2020. And if you haven't ordered your stuff for Christmas by now, you're not getting it. It's not. It's not happening. Sorry, me Nelson snicker back there. It's not happening. You're not getting it, so forget it. I mean, there's still time, I guess. Probably till the end of the week. If you upgrade to DHL shipping, that's like 2 or 3 days. Can get it pretty much anywhere. Um, but other than that, yeah, it'll be after Christmas. Um, why are you waiting so long anyway if you haven't ordered yet for Christmas? Although, to be fair, I haven't done all my Christmas shopping yet either, so neither here nor there. Yeah, so that's where we are with the shipping. It's been touch and go. We've had shipments even within British Columbia, and I know that there are cities in British Columbia which are as remote that they may as well be on the moon. I get it, but 10 days to ship something from here to there within the province. I mean, that seems like I could walk. Well, maybe not. Some of the places are pretty remote. Uh, I could probably walk there without being eaten by bears or trampled by moose. In the same amount of time that it takes the Canada Post to get it in there. U.S. Postal Service is slowing down again. Volumes, Christmas, Amazon, everybody's ordering their stuff online. Nobody's going out. Well, not everybody. I think many responsible people are not going out to crowded malls and shopping and stuff. So the mail volumes are just huge. And I don't even want to think about how bad it must be if you're actually working in those, conditions, with all the extra safety procedures and all the things. Just, yeah. So, having said that, I think that's it. I think that's all the preamble I wanted to. Although always after the fact, I always think, oh, I should have mentioned this, and I'm not gonna remember it. So. Anyway, if you've met us at shows, which is why we do these live streams, because clearly none of the shows are happening now. Well, there was one in Calgary, but we don't speak about it. But we went, and it was good. you've seen these trays that we have the pendants in and the rings in at the shows, and we're just cataloging all of the individual pieces because sometimes looking at a picture online is great, and and usually the pictures look awesome, but you get one view, maybe two views, to thing. So sometimes it's easier, or it's hard to visualize what it would look like with a stone in it. And some of these things I managed to find stones that fit. We have a selection of mostly pretty ugly stones, but um, so if our pendants can make these stones look good, imagine what they'll look like with your stones in there. Just it'll be awesome. Um, and that's not true. I mean, almost all stones. No, there's one or two stones that I've got here that are pretty ugly. Um, well, I'll talk about them when I get to them. But sometimes you like to be able to visualize what it looks like with a stone in there, maybe three-dimensional view. Maybe how tall are those prongs on that thing anyway? Because it's hard to tell from the photograph. Um, and we've started I guess the newer pendants as we get new stuff in, because we always get new stuff, and I'm working on a bunch now. I think we have like 300 new products that we're photographing and thing, and hopefully those will go up. Job security, let's just call it that. I think I'm gonna be here literally forever, photoshopping pictures and entering new products in the website. But uh, what was my point? Oh, I'm trying to incorporate more views of the pendants than just the simple straight on view. Because a lot of times that gives you a lot of information as to what it looks like just from the front. But how tall are the prongs? How deep is that basket? Will it work for the stone that I want? And this catalog gives us the chance to maybe bring a little more detail into the pieces as you're looking at them, and then you can identify, oh yeah, this would be great for a cut. Oh, I've got a cut stone, but maybe it wouldn't work for that particular pendant or whatever it is. Yeah. So, having said that, am I missing anything? Have I done anything? Everybody's okay? You're all good? Everybody's getting Christmas stuff together, planning your Christmas dinners with. Oh, I guess you're not supposed to have Christmas dinners with unless you're having it just hunkered down with your family. Um, Yay, Christmas 2020, right? Okay, let's move on. Uh, the first pendant on the list is this. Why is that so bright? Um, MTP007 for a 9 by 13 millimeter oval, and I've got this uh, tiger's eye in there. I don't know if you can see that. The retail price is $13.60 and the wholesale price is $8.88. And this one, let me just take the stone out just so you can see what it looks like. Right, the seat has kind of a bevel on the inside, so that seat is designed ostensibly for a cut stone, with and you can get away with a pretty deep pavilion with this basket. The culet sticking out the back, even if you like. It's got these little flourish things with rows of cubic zirconias around in there, and a nice little stone at the top and the bottom. Oh no, those aren't. Those are just dots. Never mind. Boy, you see, it looks so cool. This is just a cabochon here that I put in there, so clearly it would work with either, right? The prongs are pretty good size, so that comes high enough up that cab that it'll work. And that's a lovely little thing. Now, the thing I didn't mention, or I said I was going to mention about the retail and the wholesale price. The retail price is just the price if you buy one or thing or whatever. And the wholesale price is the price available to you if you spend $150 or more at that wholesale level. Now, you don't have to buy $150 of one thing. You can buy, 10 pendants, although if you bought 10 $8.88 pendants, it would only be $88 or 80, round it up to $89. And you'd need to order more to get to $150, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's that one. The next item here is MTP1133 for a 12 by 16 millimeter cut stone or cabochon. The seat is flat, so ostensibly it's for a cab. And there's got these pretty good prongs there, so you can get a pretty thick cab in there. I actually have on this, nice pretty thick rose quartz. Let's see if that fits in there. Oh, lovely. Well, it's not exactly the right size. It's there, but you can see what it looks like with the stone in there. Right? Gorgeous. This has the rose of that, I don't know, what is that? Ivy, I think, with some cubic zirconias and the cardinal points. Standard loop and bail. It's got a pretty deep basket, so you can definitely get away with the cut stone in there. And that's gorgeous. Our next item is MTP 260 for a 7x9mm cut stone or cabochon. Retail price is $13.79 and the wholesale price is $9.09. This one I put a moonstone in there, and you can see the little flash there, right? So that's what it looks like. Just that, cute little frame around the outside of the stone. Good sized prongs. These are, well, you could probably get away with the cabochon in there, definitely. Right. It's funny to me how these stones look so much better on camera than they do in real life. So. Here's our next one, MTP 623B, like boy, for a 17mm round cabochon. Retail price $23.79 and the wholesale price is $18.51. And I just put this, I had this little, is that turquoise? Probably reconstituted or halite. No, I think it's turquoise. Right, so this has a flat seat with pretty good sized prongs, so it's ostensibly designed for a cab, but you probably get away with the cut stone in there if you dress those prongs down. So this is not exactly the right size for this. That's probably like an 18mm cab for this 17mm setting, but you can get an idea what it looks like. Very nice. A pretty kind of flower border around it. Our next one is this lovely, it's kind of a, I don't know, I guess it's evocative of a wing to me. I don't know. MTP 914 for a 6x8mm oval cabochon or cut stone. Either will work in here. Retail price is $15.59 and the wholesale price is $10.39. I love this 3D effect with these, ribbon sort of things, how they go around. And I actually have will that fit? Yep. Not exactly the right size, but gives you a good idea what it looks like with a stone in there. Probably not the stone I would put in there if I bought that. MTP 532 for an 11x15mm cabochon. I don't have one that fits in here, but I don't know this. Somebody said this at a show once, and I've never been able to get it out of my mind since. If you put a stone in there, it would look like a cat, a kitty cat, right, with little kitty ears. I don't know. Sorry. Now you can't avoid seeing it either. Little cubic zirconia in the top, and a little cute little accent down at the bottom. You could probably dangle stuff from there also. Very cute. The retail price is $18.21 and the wholesale price is $11.39. Our next item, MTP 262 for a 9x11mm cabochon or cut stone. The seat is designed, with that bevel for a cut stone, and the prongs are not super tall, so cut stone would be best in there. But if it's a low dome cab, you can definitely put that in there. Retail price $13.88, and the wholesale price is $9.17. The only drawback with putting cabochons in these things is that the seat is so thin at the top that unless the cab is slightly curved on the underside, it's tricky to get the cab to sit flat here as you're setting it, sort of thing. I mean, it's not impossible, and then once you've set it, it's set, and it's it'll just keep working forever. But anyway, just something to keep note of. Our next item, MTP 657 for a 10 by 14 millimeter cabochon with that big wide flat seat. That's definitely designed for a cabochon. Retail price $32.21, wholesale price $21.75. Now, depending on the shape of your stone, you might be able to put a cut stone in there, although the angle of the pavilion has to be enough that it could fit from the edge down into there without sitting too high up in the setting to be able to get the prongs over onto the girdle, onto the crown of the stone. This is lovely, if you can see that, it looks like it's very light on my screen here on the thing. So I don't know if you can see this, but rows of cubic zirconias all the way around that lovely, lovely piece. Our next item, and I put a stone in here because I had one that fit. MTP 613 for a 10 by 14 millimeter oval cut stone or cabochon. Retail price $31.85 and the wholesale price $18.20. And this is just a cute little piece with a row of cubic zirconias around the outside. Will that focus? Why won't that focus for me? Okay. Right. Look at that without the thing. So the seat here is designed for a cabochon. It's got that wedge. But it's designed for a cut stone. But I put a cab in there. That works. It's got some good sized prongs. Next item up here is MTP 920 for a 12 by 16 millimeter pear shaped stone. The retail price $18.82 and the wholesale price is $15.07. And this is I don't know what that is, like it's just hearts, a bunch of hearts with cubic zirconias in there. Cute little frame around there, and this has those the double prongs at the top. And these big tall prongs, down at the bottom. So cabochon, absolutely. Cut stone, definitely. Golly, there isn't anything you can't put in there. Well, I mean, assuming it's the right size. Pear shape. Our next item, MTP 437 for an 8 by 10 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. I definitely have a stone that'll fit in there. I'm not going to pull one out though. $29.81 is the retail price and $19.88 is the wholesale price. This is a row of cubic zirconias all the way around the seat, and then another row decoration around the outside, around the frame. Right. Very lovely. Here's one. The stone is not actually the right size for this thing, so I just wanted to show you something with a stone in it. MTP 683 for a 10 by 14 millimeter pear. Retail price is $18.72 and the wholesale price is $11.23. So that's like a 9 by 13 pair. So that doesn't really fit, but right, it's got that lovely swooping things there. The double prongs at the top makes it super easy to set for just about anything. That's just lovely. Our next item, MTP 556 for a 7 by 9 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $15.94 and wholesale price is $9.96. I put a little faceted garnet in there. Just to give you an idea what it looks like with the stone in there. I don't know, it's kind of evocative of an owl shape, I guess, maybe. The lovely points at the top. The bail is incorporated into the design, and there's a row of cubic zirconias up there at the top of that. Our next item, MTP 423 for a 12 by 18 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $35.11 and the wholesale price $23.41. This also has rows of cubic zirconias around the outside. Just a lovely kind of scrolling motif pattern. MTP 425 for an 11 by 16 or 11 by 15 millimeter oval. Seat is designed for a cabochon. It's got some good sized prongs too, so definitely a cabochon will fit in there. Cut stone probably, definitely. You can make it work. $34.41 is the retail price, and $22.95 is the wholesale price. It's got those nice big bold cardinal points with the rows of cubic zirconia around the outside. Not a very super deep basket, but if you don't have a super pointy culet on your stone, you could definitely wear that. That's been MTP 880 for a 6x8 millimeter stone. Cabochon or cut stone will work in there. Prongs are giant, so even if you have a super thick cab, I've got one here. This is much smaller than that. Not the right size, but anyway, you get the idea. $13.90 is the retail price, and $9.27 is the wholesale price. And I love those kind of just crossing ribbons. They're over the top. And again, perfect prongs for nice, big, thick. MTP 536 for an 8x10 millimeter stone. Retail price is $17.43, and the wholesale price is $10.89. And I've got this little tiger's eye in there. There's a little cubic zirconia up at the top, right? Just lovely. This is the seat is designed for a cabochon, right? It's got that flat seat, but definitely it's not very thick that you couldn't put a cut stone in there easily, very easily. Our next item is MTP 003 for an 8x10 millimeter stone. Retail price is $10.76, and the wholesale price is $6.82. And this is just simple, scrolly accents around the outside. Let's see, I've got a stone. Does that fit? I think that fits in there. Anyway, you get the idea what it would look like with the stone in there. Oh. My next item is MTP 540, also for an 8x10 millimeter oval. The retail price $17.29, and the wholesale price $10.80. That's what do they call that? Biconvex, cat's eye shape, I guess, with a cubic zirconia up at the top and the bottom of the stone. Right, you just love how it looks like the stone is sort of hovering inside that, and only held together by these two little pieces on the side. Of course, it's not that. It's just let me get the stone out of there. Oh, or not. Whatever. It's just an illusion, right? Clearly, you see by the back, the whole thing is part built into the frame. Our next item, MTP 872 for a 6x8 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $13.81, and the wholesale price is $9.20. And it's just a very simple circle. It pivots with the bail, right? So the bail is separate. The stone is not the exact size for this pendant, but I think you get a kind of a cute idea what it looks like. There's a little labradorite in there. God, that looks way better in the camera than it looks in the real world. But our next one, MTP 905 for a 12 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. I think this is a cute little kind of floral accents around the outside. The whole thing looks sort of like a flower. Retail price $17.41, and the wholesale price is $11.61. It's got that standard soldered loop and bail in the top. MTP 1129 for a 10x14 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $13.54 and wholesale price $8.46. And I love these leaves around the outside with the cubic zirconias in there. It's got a pretty deep basket, so I think this is designed for, it's kind of a hybrid. You can put anything in here. The prongs are pretty good size, and the seat is not super wide, so a cabochon or a cut stone will work. This lovely kind of double chevron bail up at the top there, mimicking the pattern down at the bottom. Very cute. And God, I wish I had a stone that fit in this one. This is way cooler with a stone in it. MTP 969 for a 12 by 14 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Probably it's designed for a cut stone with that super deep basket in there. And I think with a cut stone in there would look gorgeous. It's got this beautiful bale with all that cubic zirconia accents in there. Retail price $18.32 and the wholesale price is $11.45. The next item I've got here is MTP 718 for a 12 by 16 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $23.11 and the wholesale price is $14.44. And it's got these I don't know, these little kidney accents around with a row of cubic zirconias all the way around the stone. I'm not a fan of goldstone, which is technically is not even really a stone. It's glass with that aventurine dust in it. You can actually melt this down. Then use it. That's how you see that Venetian glass stuff with all that kind of gold accents on those beads. That's how they make that with that stuff. Anyway, the next one. This is definitely the ugliest stone that we have. So I'm going to take that out of there. MTP 1064 for a 13 by 18 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.46 and the wholesale price is $9.63. This just got those cute accents all the way around the outside. You can take an ugly stone like this, just something you find on the road, and polish up into a cab and put it in there, and it looks like a piece of jewelry, right? If you can make this ugly stone look gorgeous, you're in the right place. MTP 397 for a 12 by 18 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. And my apologies if you're one of those people who actually love those kind of very plain, bleak stones. I think they're sad looking. Retail price $31.84 and the wholesale price $21.23. This has got these lovely rows of cubic zirconias and these accents all the way around the frame. Right, soldered loop and bale. That would also look very cool with a stone in there. Here's another basket that's kind of it's not the same, it's just a different size, right? From the other one was 12 by 14. This one's 10 by 14. It's got that same, I think that same gorgeous, sort of flame motif bale, right? With the cubic zirconias in there and the nice deep basket. MTP 906 for a 10 by 14 millimeter stone. $20.16 is the retail price. $13.44 is the wholesale price. And here's one. Very simple. And this, again, this stone is not exactly the right size for this thing, so don't at me. But I just wanted to put a stone in there so you could see. Very simple. Actually, you could definitely set that in there. Never mind. MTP 374 for an 11 by 22 millimeter oval cabochon, or you might be able to get away with a cut stone, although you don't see many cut stones of this shape. But if you're the lapidary, go for it. Definitely you can make that work. Retail price is $19.80 and the wholesale price is $12.87. This is just a simple basket, plain basket with the incorporated bale in there, all one piece. This is one of those stones that we've had lying around here that's like, well, we're never going to find a pendant to fit. And boom, there it is. We have it. We have something for you. MTP 922 for a 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $13.03. Then wholesale price is $8.68. This just has some nice, cute little cubic zirconia and accents around the top. Frame goes all the way around the seat. I put a nice, cute little lapis cabochon in there, but cut stone will work in there just as well. Right, nice solid basket, pretty deep basket, good size prongs. Very versatile pendant. Just about anything will work in there. Here's our next item, MTP 912 for a 10 by 12 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stones. Retail price $12.47 and the wholesale price is $8.31. And I just love these asymmetric I don't know, design accents around the frame. There's sort of a mirror image of the other, right? Like this is a mirror image of that, except that this obviously there's a loop in the top of it. I put another goldstone, and I talk about how I'm not a fan of goldstone, although blue goldstone is kind of cooler, I think, than that, what they call red goldstone. But again, not actually a stone, but neither here nor there. MTP 507 for a 12 by 16 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. The retail price $40.09, wholesale price $25.06. And this has got some good medium-sized prongs, so low dome cab would work better than a nice big thick one. Also with a basket like this, nice deep basket, it's kind of crying out for a cut stone, to go in there. It's got these rows of cubic zirconias around the outside and other silver accents, kind of behind it below. Very three-dimensional pendant, this one. Right? Nice deep basket. God, gorgeous. From the most sparkly, bling-covered, eclectic, busy pendant to the most plain. MTP 002 for a 13 by 17 millimeter cabochon. Retail price $7.57 and the wholesale price is $5.29. Now this you kind of have to put a cab in here. If you had a cut stone that fit, I don't think it would. You wouldn't be able to get it down into the setting far enough for this. It's a bezel. It's kind of like a billion prongs. It's kind of a split bezel all the way around. I kind of like this because it looks like the pieces are all individual, right? So from the outside, once this is set, it'll just look like all of these little tiny prongs are kind of pushing over onto the stone, and you won't see that where they're connected. So it's just it's a very cool 3D effect when it's set. And I've seen this in a lot of really, really high-end jewelry, that kind of bezel, kind of split bezel wall. MTP 529 for a 9 by 11 millimeter stone. I know I have one that would fit in here. I'm not going to get it though. Retail price is $23.43 and the wholesale price is $14.64. This just lovely, I don't know, fans of cubic zirconia all the way around. It's got some pretty good sized prongs in there, so a cabochon or a cut stone will work. Right? Nice open back. Very lovely. Here's here's a contender for the second ugliest stone that we have to show you in other samples. MTP 621 for an 18 by 22 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone, although the prongs on these are super tall, so definitely it's ostensibly built for a cabochon, with the flat seat and everything. Right. That's the only stone I had that fit in there perfectly. So you get the idea what it looks like with this stone in there. I promise it's way prettier with a prettier stone in there. But I say the MTP 621 for 18 by 22 millimeter oval. Again, $44.10 is the retail price, $29.64 is the wholesale price, and it's just kind of like spiraling ribbons of cubic zirconia all the way around the outside, with a lovely bail with a upside down marquise stone. Or I guess it's not upside down, it's whatever dimension you put it in is the right dimension. With the point on the bottom, that big marquise stone on the top of that pendant, and the top of the bail, I should say, with a row of cubic zirconias around the outside. Golly, I think I like the bail better than the pendant. That's gorgeous. Here's another spiritual cousin to the other one, right? This thing. Almost the same concept. The fans are quite a bit bigger. And again, I don't know if you call those fans or whatever. MTP 895 for 11 by 14 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. The prongs are pretty good sized, right? So cabochon definitely would work. A cut stone definitely would work in here. Nice, deep basket. I love these cubic zirconias, these little triads of cubic zirconias around, the outside. Just a standard loop and bail. Our next one, I put a big rose quartz in here. Or no, that's a rainbow moonstone. MTP 907 for a 15 by 20 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $23.09 and the wholesale price is $15.39. There's a nice bold border around the outside with the flourishes up at the top there. I think that's lovely with the stone in there. I got that faceted moonstone in there. You can see what that looks like without it. You could definitely put a cut stone in there, right? This is cabochon, but you could definitely put a cut stone in there. I love faceted cabs. You don't see those very much, but I do love them. There's a MTP 104 for a 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. I'll separate that from the bail so you can see what it looks like. Anyway, again, this stone is not exactly, it's just a hair smaller than it should fit in there, but I wanted you to see something with a stone in there. Retail price $13.35 and the wholesale price is $9.40. And this has some, cute little, it's almost like it was a solid border and then we kind of drilled these holes in there. It's not that, but I think, and there's some cubic zirconias. Oh no, there's not. It just looks like there are. Very cool effect. There's no CZs in there, but it looks like there are. I don't know if you can see that, how good you can see that. I just love that sort of crown effect, the 3D, right? Or if you look at it straight on, it looks, you can see the flat edges of the ribbons, and if you look at it from the sides, you can see that profile of the ribbons. Anyway. MTP 869 MTP 869 for a 6 by 8 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $14.35. Wholesale price is $9.57. And this has got some good sized prongs there, not super tall. So it would have to be a low dome cab. Real thick cab probably won't work well in here, or I guess you could glue it to that flat seat. Cut stone would work in there beautifully. I love this kind of flowery sort of effect, right? It's just very simple, very classic, and very lovely. Now here's one with a lot of bling. If you like a lot of bling, boom. MTP 721 for a 13 millimeter round cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $31.72 and the wholesale price is $19.83. And this is just chock a block full of cubic zirconias around the outside, and then with those little scallops, and the bail has a nice big cubic zirconia in there. Let me get that stone out of there. Right, nice big wide open bail. It's got some pretty good sized prongs in there, so even though like this cab that I put in there, yes, it's very boring, and it's not exactly the right size, but it's close enough. Cut stone I think would look gorgeous in there personally. Here's MTP 452 for 8 by 10 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $25.70 and the wholesale price is $17.13. And again, it's got the row of cubic zirconias around the outside with these triangular accents that come in and meet the seat at the bottom. So a very cool effect, right? And I love how that aventurine looks very jade in the light of the camera. Very cute. MTP 452, I said this, 8 by 10 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $25.70, wholesale price $17.13. Our next one is, and again, I'm a big fan of these asymmetric ones. MTP 551 for an 11 by 15 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $18.72 and the wholesale price is $11.70. And this has got some accents, silver accents, with one terminating in a cubic zirconia. It's got good sized prongs for a cabochon or a cut stone. This will hang just like so, a little bit diagonal. So very cool effect with your stone there. And getting the stone to sit diagonal is just a function of where you put the loop, right? Where you hang the thing, the center of gravity changes. And I think that's gorgeous. MTP 1063 for a 15 by 24 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $30.90, wholesale price $20.61. And this, I love this kind of bamboo look sort of effect. Comes all the way down to the bottom. Big cubic zirconia in the top, right around the frame. Right, it's got a good medium-sized basket, good-sized prongs. So it's kind of a good hybrid. Anything cut stone cab will work in there. Definitely. MTP 916 for an 8 by 12 millimeter pear-shaped stone. This is designed for a cut stone, but you could definitely put a cab in there with the length of those prongs. It's got the nice double prongs up at the top, which are super easy to set with. Retail price $12.52 and the wholesale price is $8.35. I love this bail, right? This open bail kind of gives it sort of a split effect, right? Nice big wide bail. Next one, MTP 443 for an 11 by 15 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stones. Retail price is $29.87 and the wholesale price is $19.92. I don't think it's a very cool effect. I don't know. It looks sort of like evocative of a dragon to me. I don't know, right? A little flamey tail and the head. A row of cubic zirconias around the outside of the seat. The seat is kind of wide and flat, so it's designed for cabochon. You can also tell by the prongs on the inside are flat all the way up. If it's designed for a cut stone, you'll see notches in there where the edge of the girdle would fit. MTP 664 for a 9 by 13 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stones. The retail price is $53.04 and the wholesale price is $39.78. And this is just a giant, just a whopper, gorgeous piece. The seat again with that bevel is designed for a cut stone. The prongs are pretty good size though, so you definitely could put a cab in there if it's not too thick. You might have to worry about how forward it sits, right? Because if it's super heavy in the front, it'll tilt forward, right? So cut stone would fit in there better. I love these. It's just rows of cubic zirconia around the outside, and the interlocking half circles all the way around, inverted, connecting the seat and the outside frame. Very cool pattern, very cool design. Again, lots of bling on there. MTP 241 for a 7 by 9 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $19.92 and the wholesale price is $12.44. I put a stone that's too big. It doesn't really fit in there, but I just wanted you to see that with a stone in there, how that looks, right? I got these rows of silver coming around. Also, the seat is designed for a cut stone, but as you can see, it definitely works with a cab, as long as it's not too deep of a cab, because those prongs are not super tall, right? MTP 665 for a 12 by 17 millimeter oval cut stone, right? Designed for a cut stone, but you could probably put a cab in there if it's not super thick. Again, retail price $40.56 and the wholesale price is $30.42. Again, just rows of cubic zirconias with these scallops all the way around, all bedecked in cubic zirconia. Here's another one that I know this stone looks way better on camera than it does in real life. MTP 713 for a 12 by 16 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Obviously, I've got a cab in there. Retail price $31.66 and the wholesale price is $19.79. And it's just a nice big wide border with cubic zirconia in there. It's got these little scallops all the way around the seat. Nice good sized prongs, so you could definitely put a cab in there. Although again, this is designed for a cut stone. You can see this is not a super thick cab, so this actually works, pretty beautifully in there. I think it's just a hair bigger than the setting, but you could definitely make that work. The prongs are not too short. It's got a lovely bail, again, kind of a split bail with cubic zirconias in the inside. And again, this cabochon is just an aventurine, but it looks way better in the camera light than it does in the anyway, in the real world. Here's one going into the next tray now. I put a stone in there, but the stone is not the right size. MTP 282 for an 11 by 15 millimeter cushion cut cab or square, maybe. Retail price is $19.32 and the wholesale price is $13.72. And again, this is the seat. You see those dots on the seat? That's there for your epoxy or your glue to hold on to better. You can see that with the stone in there. You can see that's not exactly the right size anyway. And once you've glued that in there, I guess you could push those over onto the stone too. That would help a little bit. Although if it's a nice thick cab like this, the prongs on the side won't do anything because they're just hitting, the perimeter. They're not able to actually set the stone into the seat. Anyway. Our next one, MTP 957 for a 12 by 16 millimeter rectangle cut stone. Definitely is designed for a cut stone. You might be able to put a cab in there if it's a nice thin cab, although with that deep basket, right? It's just crying for a gorgeous cushion cut stone to put in there. 12 by 16. Retail price is $19.05 and the wholesale price is $11.43. And again, from the front, this is going to be pretty, I don't know, basic, very classic. You'll see these little prongs on the side. But other than that, it's more of a, very functional, very, look at my stone, as opposed to look at my pendant. Here's some of the very cool, and I wish I had stones that fit in here, just, to show you how they work, to show you the how cool they are. MTP 584 for a 15 by 24 millimeter rectangular cushion cut, a little bit curved on the sides. Retail price is $18.59 and the wholesale price is $11.62. And again, this, your stone would just slide in there. You'd have to be able to shave down the sides if you like. And it just glues right to that bail. And then you end up with, let's see if I have something at least so you could see what it would look like. You've got that sort of pattern, over the front of the stone, right? Very cool. Here's a MTP 576 for 15 by 23 millimeter cushion cut cabochon. Again, you'd have to glue a cab in there. You could glue this or push this over, and this top hearts and the little flourishes, push those over onto the stone after it's glued on there. These will provide more of kind of like accents and a little bit of security, but the vast amount of security is from your good two-part epoxy that you put on the side. MTP 576 for a 15 by 23 millimeter cushion cut rectangle, 1958, and 12.23 is the wholesale price. Again, we've got a couple of these things, and there's a few more in the tray further down, but we've got one or two left to show you. MTP $5.94 for a 15 by 23 millimeter cushion cut cabochon. Retail price is $17 and the wholesale price is $10.62. And again, it's got these very cool geometric accents, right? Once it's glued on there, you can push those over onto the stone, just to give some very cool accents to the outside of your stone. Again, those little accents, they're more decorative than they are going to be functional. Although this one down in this corner, how the corner of the stone sits in there, will definitely be secure. MTP 583 for a 10 by 20 millimeter. What do you call that? It's a pill shape, I guess. Flat on the sides and rounded on the top and the bottom. This is definitely one of those lapidary specials where, if you're a lapidary and you've got something that's close, and you buy this pendant and then, finish cutting your stone to actually fit perfectly in the setting. And then again, this is glue in, right? Glue on cabochon. Retail price is $19.93 and the wholesale price is $12.48. There's lovely, flora and fauna here. Leaves down at the bottom, a little flower with at the top. There's no cubic zirconias in there, even though it looks like there are. That's just kind of granulation, I guess. The sort of dots. Here's one. I've got a couple of these, and I have a couple of these that have stones in them, so you can see what they look, how they work better. MTP 596 for a 32 by 35. What is that? That shape. Retail price $26.40 and wholesale price $16.51. Again, this is more of a lapidary special. If you're a lapidary and you cut your own stones, you could trace this out. Get your stone to fit, but the chances of buying a stone like this and then finding this thing that fits perfectly, pretty low. But if you do, wow, that's amazing. So this just has kind of like a frame, right, around the outside that you would glue the stone in there. And this lovely little leaves with the grapes there, and a couple of little cubic zirconias along there. Those would sit on the front of your stone, right, to give you a little more contrast here. And here's one that I put a stone in, right? So this is just this MTP 279 for a 25 millimeter round oval cab. Retail price $25.61, wholesale price $17.45. And again, this would be a glue in, right? Anytime you see those dots, that's gluing, right? And this has some accents. This one little heart out at the bottom, this thing at the top, and the stone just slides in there. I push that all the way in, just to give you an idea what it would look like once it's set. It's not exactly the right size, close enough. Anyway, and then these things would, fit over onto the top of the stone, right? So it gives you that sort of very cool effect. I love that. We've got a couple of those. Here's, I'm going to pull that out because I think I can use this for the next one. Here's another one, MTP 278 for a 25 millimeter round cabochon. Retail price $25.96, wholesale price $17.75, and see what this looks like with the stone in there. Is that going to be able to work? I think that's too small. I think the stone is too big. Oh well. Whatever, you kind of get the idea, right? What it would look like with those things around the front. Very gorgeous. We've got a MTP 215 for a 7 by 9 millimeter cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $15.03 and the wholesale price is $10.02. And it's kind of like almost like a paisley-ish, although upside down maybe, paisley-ish. This is making me nervous. I was not focusing. It's got a little row of cubic zirconias around the one side and at the top. Very cute. I put a little cab in there, but you could put a cabochon or a cut stone. It's good sized prongs. think it's pretty much designed for a cab. Very lovely. Our next one is MTP 008 for a 9 by 11 millimeter cabochon. I mean, it's definitely designed for a cabochon. You could probably put a cut stone in there. Retail price $14.14. Wholesale price is $8.84. Cute little flourishes up at the top with a cubic zirconia in the middle, and kind of very simple, frame around the seat of the MTP 528 for a 17 by 23 millimeter, whatever that is, kind of rectangle with a curved corners, pill shape, I guess. Lozenge, I guess is the name of it. Retail price $20.68. Wholesale price is $12.92. And this is just a little bit different than the other. These have prongs on the back. So, you get your cab to fit in there, you push your cab down in there, and then you push these prongs over onto the back of the cab, and that holds it in place, right? While it's sitting in there. Very, very gorgeous. We've got this one, MTP 581 for a 25 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $18.99 and the wholesale price is $11.87. And again, I've pulled one out. This is that same thing, right? You put the stone in there and then you push that over onto the front after it's glued in. I'm not going to push it all the way in there, but you see that lovely, that's kind of what you would see. Very cute, very, I don't know. Interesting shape. Here's one for another lapidary special. You'd have to cut this into the shape of an apple. MTP 569 for 19 by 20 millimeter apple shaped stones. Retail price $20.31. Wholesale price is $12.69. And again, it's an apple. That's what it is. A little branch and some leaves in the top. Here's something a little more traditional. MTP 511 for a 16 millimeter oval round cut, definitely a cab to glue in there. Retail price $74.75 and the wholesale price is $46.72. This has not got a nice, heavy heavy border, right? The little strings of that twisty wire there, although that's not twisty wire, that's cast. And a lovely fancy cubic zirconia, or fancy little bail, right? Like kind of Bali style bail with that marcasite in there, faux marcasite. MTP 592 for a 32 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price $22.87 and the wholesale price $14.30. And again, this is similar to the other ones. It's got the prongs in this. Oh, that one's broken off. This is what we get from keeping these at shows so much. Right, so the stone would go in the back, and I don't have a stone that would fit, but just to show you how it works. Right. And then that prong would push over onto the back of the stone, and then you would hold that in there. And it's kind of again, very cool how the accents are on the front of the piece. Here's one, this one, I feel like we had a custom one that somebody used this as the starting point, and there were a couple of other editions of these in this corner and one up in that corner or something. And it obviously was for a much different size stone. MTP 580 for a 16 by 24 millimeter cushion cut cabochon. Retail price $19.31 and the wholesale price is $12.06. And Yeah, he sent us pictures when he was said it would look gorgeous when he was done. Oh, I remember it was also very uneven. The shape of the thing, like the one side of the cab was like 6 millimeters thick, and the other side was like 8 millimeters thick or something. It was very irregular cabochon. But when you're doing it from scratch for a custom, we can do it. MTP 570 for a 15 by 23 millimeter cushion cut cabochon. Retail price 17.94. Wholesale price 11.22. And again, it's a glue-on, right? But then these little tabs on the sides get pushed over onto the front to give you some silver accents on the front of your stone, or on the sides of your stone. It looks very cool. They don't occlude the stone much on the front, so they definitely look very cool, to see them from the sides, but they don't, they won't push far enough into your stone to block any cool patterns if you have a very cool, um, stone that does that. MTP 593 for a 17 by 23 millimeter cushion cut rectangular-ish stone. Retail price 17.97, and the wholesale price is 11.23. Here's another big square one, MTP 591 for a 35 millimeter square. I think this one is bent a little bit from being in the tray. It's 22.27, and the wholesale price is 13.92. And again, with the curved corners, right, to push those in, you might be able to get away with putting square corners in there if they're pointy corners. Right, and then once you've glued that in there, there's a little prong on this side. You could push these over onto it. Now, there's no dots on the frame, so it's designed to be glued or not. I would glue it, definitely. I wouldn't just trust that one little prong to hold that in place. But that's just me. And when I say glue, I'm not talking about, some little craft glue like 527 or, those other glues. Was the one that's real famous? Doesn't matter. Clear craft glues are great, but, if you're sticking eyeballs onto your sheet, great. Epoxy, a good two-part epoxy that dries clear. MTP 585 for an 8 by 30 millimeter marquise shaped cabochon. Retail price is $18.79. Wholesale price is $11.74, and it's just a very cool, asymmetric shape. It's got a little cubic zirconia at the bottom. It's got the double prongs, right? These aren't chevrons. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? No. Focus. It looks like they're together, but it's not chevrons. They're the double prongs, which are super easy to set with. Here's another one. This is MTP 932 for a 30 by 23 millimeter oval cabochon. Retail price is $19.07. Wholesale price is $12.71. And I do have one that will fit in there. Just push that out. Oh, pulled it off the card. That's good job, Mark. Anyway, right? Don't you think you push these prongs down, right? To hold that in place. And that's all you did. This one you definitely would not need to have glue on there, sort of thing. But it just leaves it cute, and you push that down onto the stone once you're done. Very gorgeous, very cool. Sort of, is it flowers? What is it? It's just very cool. It's all over the place. Got another MTP 688 or 580, sorry, MTP 588 for a 20 millimeter round oval cabochon. Retail price is $20.11 and the wholesale price is $12.52. And the cab is going to have to be, if it's super flat on the bottom, it'll be tricky to get this to work. Let me see if I have one that fits a little better. That doesn't really either. Right? Just because of that curvature of that piece, you probably put a cut stone in there too if it's not a super deep pavilion. It would have to be pretty shallow though. Right? So if it's a little bit curved in the inside, it'll definitely fit better, right? And this just has these two tabs at the top and the bottom, which if the cab bulges out the back, that's more than enough to hold it into place to keep it sturdy, right? But if it's super flat like this, retail price is $20.11 and the wholesale price is $12.57. And the last one for today is MTP 506 for an 11 by 17 millimeter oval cabochon or cut stone. Retail price is $16.61 and the wholesale price is $10.39. And this is great because it's got a nice deep basket, right? And the bail is, pretty much anywhere on the basket that you want to put this. If you want to have this, horizontally, right, you can run your chains or whatever through there. If you want to hang it horizontally, you could run your chains or whatever through there. It's great. You just, I guess like any of these things, you can snip the bail off the other ones and solder them to something. But this doesn't have a bail, so if you wanted to snip this off and solder this onto something, I love that three-dimensional effect, right? Where there's one row down at the bottom of the basket that's just a little bit smaller than the row of scallops at the top of the basket, and it gives you that sort of 3D effect. Very cool. Again, MTP 506 for 11 by 17 millimeter oval. Retail price is $16.61 and the wholesale price is $10.39. And that, I think, is it. That's all the ones we had for today. And, as I was going through, something entered my mind and I said, I better not forget to mention that. And now I've forgotten. I should have written it down as I was doing it. But welcome to my life. We're not going to be here next week. We're not doing a live stream on the 23rd, and we're not doing it on the 30th either. Too close to Christmas, and then again too close to New Year's. But we'll be back on the 6th. We'll be continuing this. I hope to get through all of these trays of pendants before we start doing something else. Hopefully we'll be able to get through them all by in the end of January. Maybe not. Maybe longer. End of February. Either way, just so you know, you're stuck with me for a couple more, a bunch more weeks, doing these cataloging more things. Again, I hope this helps you, think a little deeper into how you can use these pendants. If you had any questions about how they work, or even if you get them and you get them home or in your shop on your workbench or whatever, and you're having trouble putting stuff, please just, we're here. We know how these work best. There isn't any finding that we sell that I haven't figured out how to the best way to set it. I think. And eventually in the future when we have more time, when does that ever happen? But I think we're going to start putting little videos on the websites to show you, just little demos. The best way to do this kind of a prong. The best way to do that kind of a prong. Oh my God, my prongs are way. Some of these pendants, you see, the prongs are like super long, which are great for big, thick cabs. But what if you've got a very thin cab or a cut stone you want to put in there? What's the best way to deal with that? I think there's always a way, and none of it requires super amounts of bench skills, jewelry skills. It's just a function of knowing how. And again, you're always welcome to take these into a jeweler and have a jeweler set them, but they're going to charge you a lot of money, and it's really not super hard. this is the dirty secret about jewelers, is they would charge you a lot of money to do the simplest things because there's a lot of mystique behind it, right? I don't want to get hate mail from the jewelers out there. You know it's true. You know it's true. Um, so thank you for joining us today for I guess our last live. It didn't occur to me it's our last live stream of 2020, and 2020, right? Good riddance. Get rid of it. I'll be so happy when that calendar takes over to 2021 because I feel like it's going to be a way better year next year. Um, uh, it'll be a healing process. I will get there. So until next time, the 6th of January, we'll be back 10:30 p.m. or a.m. 10:30 p.m. I'm not staying up that late to do live streams. 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then extrapolate out to wherever you are. So in the meantime, keep making stuff. It's the best way to stay positive, right? To stave off depression, angst, pandemic, lockdown, stress. Just keep making stuff. It's always a way to um, keep yourself going forward. Take care of yourself. Take care of the planet. Take care of your mental health, and we will see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye bye.
Okay.